The Great Sphinx of Egypt is found to be 800,000 years old. This is what scientists claim, according to the Daily Star, Samweb reports. A pair of Ukrainian researchers say that this enigmatic, mysterious structure that was buried up to the beginning of the 19th century, 1850s, we can see here. This picture was 1858. They started excavating around 1817, and they had to take all that sand away. You can imagine what caused that to be buried for such a long time. Anyway, they claim that the structure is far older than the accepted claim that it was built around 2500 BC. Manichev, Vyacheslav, and Alexander Parkhomenko say that they have evidence of water erosion at the monuments of the Giza Plateau, showing that the monument was partially flooded. And you can see here the body of the pyramid, the Giza Sphinx is eroded, having lines right here. You can see that it was striated by water erosion from the floods. Perhaps one of these floods brought in the sand. Now in a paper they say extensive geological literature confirms the existence of long-lived freshwater lakes in different periods of the Quaternary from the lower Pleistocene up to our age, the Holocene. These lakes were scattered over areas bordering the Nile River. They said the absolute marking of the upper large erosion cave of the Sphinx corresponds to water surface level reached in the early Pleistocene. The great Egyptian Sphinx has already stood on the Giza Plateau at the geological historical time, and if that's true, this would change our understanding of the history of the Giza Plateau and the Sphinx. But the water erosion theory has been slammed by archaeological experts. Zahi Hawass, the former Egyptian Minister of State for Antiquities of Egypt, was asked if it was possible that a more ancient civilization might have sculpted the Sphinx. And he told PBS, of course it's possible for one reason: no single artifact, no single inscription. It's not possible, he said, for one reason: no single artifact, no single inscription or pottery or anything has been found until now at any place or predate the Egyptian civilization more than 5,000 years ago. So that's what he said, that it's not possible because no artifact has been found. That's not an excuse, though. Mystery surrounds the Sphinx still. The limestone statue of a reclining Sphinx, a mythical creature, the body of a lion, and the head of a human. So the Great Sphinx of Giza, of the Nile, the face of the Sphinx believed to represent the pharaoh Khafre, cut from bedrock, the original shape of the Sphinx restored with layers of blocks measuring 73 meters or 240 feet long from the paw to the tail and 62 feet wide at its rear haunches. It's the oldest known monument sculpture in Egypt, commonly believed to have been built by the ancient Egyptians of the Old Kingdom during the reign of Pharaoh Khafre around 2558-2532 BC. Well, that's pretty early, don't you think, considering it looks so worn? I mean, okay, for example, the Parthenon of Athens was built around 600 BC, 2,000 years before this Sphinx, and that looks new. I mean, the Parthenon basically looks pretty new compared to this. And the Parthenon is marble. It's not bedrock. And marble is a pretty soft stone, as we know. Bedrock is, in geology, is the lithified rock that lies under loose, softer material called regolith within the surface of the Earth's crust or under terrestrial planets. So, how old is this? It's still a mystery. The construction, they say the Sphinx is a monolith carved into the bedrock of the plateau, which also serves as a quarry for the pyramids and other monuments in the area. Now, there are some that believe that the pyramids are made of bricks, mud bricks, and not of slabs of stone. We're going to get into that another time. The nummulitic limestone of the area consists of layers which offer differing resistance to erosion, mostly caused by wind and wind-blown sand, leading to the uneven degradation of the Sphinx's body. The lower part of the body, including the legs, is solid rock. The body of the lion up to its neck is fashioned from softer layers that have suffered considerable disintegration. The layer in which the head was sculpted is much harder. A number of dead-end shafts are known to exist within and below the body of the Great Sphinx, and we're going to get into that another time, most likely dug by treasure hunters and tomb robbers. Now, builder and time frame. Though there have been conflicting evidence viewpoints over the years, a view held by modern Egyptology at large remains that the Great Sphinx was built about 2500 BC for the pharaoh Khafre, the builder of the second pyramid of Giza. Selim Hassan, writing in 1949 on recent excavations of the Sphinx enclosure, summed up the problem. He said, "Taking all things into consideration, it seems that we must give the credit of erecting this, the world's most wonderful statue, to Khafre, but always with this reservation, that there is not one single contemporary inscription which connects the Sphinx with Khafre. So, sounds as it may appear, we must treat the evidence as circumstantial until such time as lucky turn of the spade of the excavator will reveal to the world a definite reference to the erection of the Sphinx." So there's not any type of artifact connecting the Sphinx construction with Khafre. They're just assuming it without any evidence whatsoever. Now, the Dream Stele, erected much later by Pharaoh Thutmose, the Dream Stele is also called the Sphinx Stele. It's the epigraphic stele erected between the front paws of the Great Sphinx of Giza by the ancient Egyptian Pharaoh Thutmose IV in the first year of his reign, about 1400 BC, during the 18th dynasty, and as was common with the New Kingdom. So he put that dream stele between the paws and associates with the Sphinx, that associates the Sphinx with Khafre. When the stele was discovered, its lines of text were already damaged and incomplete, and only referred to Kaf, not Khafre. An extract was translated, which we bring for him, oxen and all the young vegetables, as we shall give praise to Wennefer Kaf, the statue made for Atum Hor Em Akhet. Now, Egyptologist Thomas Young, finding the Kaf hieroglyphs and the damaged cartouche used to surround the royal name, inserted the glyph Ra to complete Khafre's name. When the stele was re-excavated in 1925, the lines of text referring to Kaf flaked off and were destroyed. So, they're forcing the evidence by adding their own from what they imagine. So I guess we're going to find out more about this in the future, hopefully. The Sphinx will reveal its mysteries to us. I'll leave links below for you for this. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.